New York City, one of the most iconic cities in the world, is a melting pot of culture, innovation, and, of course, architecture. From towering skyscrapers to the brownstones lining the streets of Brooklyn, the city's architectural history is as dynamic as the city itself. Today, we're taking a journey through time, exploring how New York's architecture has shaped the skyline and the lives of its people. Early beginnings in colonial architecture. Let's rewind to the 1600s. The first structures in New York were built by the Dutch settlers. This period is marked by early colonial architecture, which was primarily simple and functional. The Dutch introduced brick homes with steep gabled roofs, many of which are still seen in the city's older neighborhoods today, like the picturesque homes of the financial district. These buildings were designed to withstand the harsh conditions of the New World, focusing on practicality over grandeur. But even then, the foundation of New York's distinctive character was being laid. As the 19th century dawned, New York started to evolve into a bustling metropolis. The construction of the Erie Canal in 1825 opened up trade routes, bringing wealth and people to the city. This influx of money and talent led to the rise of federal-style buildings and the construction of some of the first iconic skyscrapers. Architecture during this period was dominated by neoclassical influences. Think about the grand stone buildings and the rise of Greek Revival style, with buildings like the New York City Hall, completed in 1812. These designs sought to emulate the ideals of ancient Greece and Rome, symbolizing democracy and power. As we move into the late 19th century, New York was entering its Gilded Age. The rapid industrialization and wealth accumulation during this period led to a surge of ambitious architectural projects. It's here that the skyline began to change dramatically. In the 1890s, steel frame construction became widely adopted, allowing buildings to rise higher than ever before. The Flatiron Building, completed in 1902, is one of the first true skyscrapers, with its unique triangular shape and early steel framework. Perhaps the most famous structure from this time is the Woolworth Building, completed in 1913. Known as the Cathedral of Commerce, it stood as the world's tallest building for over a decade, at 792 feet. Its Gothic design was in stark contrast to the more modern steel and glass buildings that would follow, but it set the stage for what was to come. Then came the 1920s and 1930s, a period of innovation known for the Art Deco movement. The skyline of New York was forever changed with the construction of iconic skyscrapers, such as the Chrysler Building and the Empire State Building. The Empire State Building, completed in 1931, was the tallest building in the world for over 40 years, standing at 1,454 feet. It embodies the spirit of Art Deco with its sleek, geometric lines and ornate detailing, symbolizing the ambition and resilience of the era. Right next door, the Chrysler Building, with its shimmering spire and elegant ornamentation, remains one of the most beloved Art Deco buildings in the world. Post-war modernism and the mid-20th century, 1950s to 1970s. As the 20th century progressed, New York's architectural focus shifted to sleek modernism. The 1950s to the 1970s saw the rise of the international style, which favored clean lines, glass facades, and functional design over ornamentation. One of the most influential buildings from this era is the Seagram Building, completed in 1958. Designed by Ludwig Mies van der Rohe and Philip Johnson, its minimalist design and use of glass and steel would go on to influence skyscraper design for decades. Other modernist buildings, like the MetLife Building and the United Nations headquarters, followed this trend, emphasizing functionality and internationalism. The late 20th and early 21st centuries ushered in a new era of architectural experimentation. While the traditional grid of Manhattan remained, the city began embracing more diverse and experimental designs. Perhaps one of the most significant moments in recent New York architectural history is the construction of One World Trade Center, completed in 2013. Designed by David Childs, it stands as a symbol of resilience and hope, following the tragic events of the 11th of September, 2001. The development of areas like the High Line, which transformed a disused railway into an elevated park, and Hudson Yards, home to some of the most futuristic buildings, such as the Vessel, showcase how New York is constantly evolving while respecting its past. From colonial brick homes to gleaming glass towers, New York's architecture has constantly evolved, reflecting the city's changing landscape, culture, and ambitions. The city is a living testament to human ingenuity and creativity. And as it continues to grow, it's clear that its architectural history is still being written. Thanks for joining me on this journey through time, and I hope this gives you a deeper appreciation for the city that never sleeps, and the structures that make it so iconic. If you enjoyed this deep dive into New York's architectural history, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. Drop a comment below with your favorite building in the city, or if you have any questions, I'd love to hear from you.